Hello, mighty companions. I want to welcome you to Facebook Live with Earl Purdy, a course in miracles. This is a course in miracles. One of the things that's really cool is to understand what the Course in Miracles defines as a miracle. It says, if we see things correctly, if we see things correctly, if we see things with sanity, if we see things with love, the Course says that that's a miracle. If we are kind to each other, sane with each other, giving to each other, the Course in Miracles says that's a miracle. Think about that for a second. We're actually being told it's a miracle if we see each other correctly. It's a miracle. I want to find the song that I wanted to play. And it's going to be good today. I can already tell. It's already started out that way. Okay. It's already started out that way, y'all. It's already started out that way. Just give me an opportunity to see if I can practice anything I'm telling y'all. At all. You ever have those days to test everything you think you know?
Yeah.
You know, you want to take a few people out. And you ask yourself, is this the way the higher consciousness would have me thinking? Is that I want to take y'all out, and then what am I upset with you about? I'm upset because I can't control you and make you serve me. That's what I'm going to say with all of y'all about. I can't control you and make you do exactly what I want you to do and make you act exactly how I want you to act. And the Course says that's what we do. It says we wake up in the morning with the desire for people to serve us, to do what we want them to do in order to make us happy. And it's really, I have to admit that's true, that there is definitely a part of me that has a script for everybody I know, and that includes you. Right, my script for you is you ought to see me as the most fantastic teacher that you've ever had the possibility of being in the front of, that I'm absolutely bringing you everything that you want to hear, that you are totally pleased with me on every level. And if you don't do that, I need to try to figure out how to get you to do it. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. That's what I love about doing a love offering class. You don't have no pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I'm doing this class for free. I can take my time to do whatever I'm doing. But I'm not a victim of my mom, not a victim of my pa, not a victim of events, circumstance at all. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. I'm not a victim of the future, not a victim of the past, not a victim of anything that really doesn't last. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I done to me. Oh yeah. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim, no, of the world I see. Yeah. see. Cause what's happening now is what I've done to me. That includes the good stuff. Come out now. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim of the world I see. I'm not a victim, no, of the world I see. No. I'm not a victim of the world I see. Cause what's happening now is what I've done to me. Oh, unto me. Just in case you didn't hear it the first time. All right. I am tripping. Yeah. I've had so many miracles in the last week that it's scared a part of me to almost to death. And so the course told me that would happen. That's why I read it. So I know what's going to happen to me. And I finally got to the point I'd stopped listening to myself and things got better. That sounds weird to y'all. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the ones of you who are awake. And the ones who are asleep still think their way of looking at it is the best way to do it. You know, they haven't reached their limit of pain yet. I know y'all have. Yeah, I know what y'all been doing in the past. You know what I'm saying? There's a line in the course that says, if your see, this is a great line. Let me find it. It's like, this is so good. The course works, y'all. I just want to let you know what you're going to say at the end of the movie. You're going to say, that stuff was the truth. Yeah, that's what you're going to say in the end. You're going to go, everything that book was saying was the truth. But, you can take your time, but... He said, you think you are the home of evil. Have a nice day. Oh, okay, that explains my ex-boyfriend. He was the home of evil. I love it. The Course says stuff that just smacks you in the face, right? He goes, you think you are the home of evil, darkness and sin. You think if anyone could see the truth about you, they would be repelled. Right? There's a part of me, I know you think I'm nice, Earl Purdy, but if you really knew the truth about me, you'd be repelled. He said there's another part of us that says, not only would you be repelled, you would recoil from me as if from a poisonous snake. That sounds like low self-esteem to me. sounds like low self-esteem. If I'm so evil, I'm so dark, I'm so sinful. If anybody could see the truth about me, they would recoil from me as if they were recoiling from a snake that was poisonous. There's a part of me that believes that about me. Then he goes on to say, you think that if what is true about you were revealed to you, you think if what is true about you were revealed to you, you believe that if what is really true about you were revealed, he says, you'd be struck with horror. If I really let you know what's really going on about me, if I really took a look at what was going on inside of me, deep inside of me, he says, you think that you would be struck with horror so intense that instead of saying commit suicide, the course is much more artistic than that. It says, horror so intense that you would rush to death by your own hand. What a great definition of suicide. I'm rushing to death by my own hand. Okay? And he says, if there's a part of you that thinks that if the truth about you were revealed to you, that you kill yourself because after seeing the way you are, you want to die. And if I'm not trying to be my spiritual ego and I'm willing to tell the truth, I have definitely felt this way in my life before. I definitely felt this way in my life before. That if I really took a good hard look at what was really going on inside of me and the sin and guilt inside of me for the things I think I've done and hurt other people in the past, nobody wouldn't want to be my friend. They'd all be repelling from me as if by a poisonous snake. Hell, I've been trying to get away from me and can't. Everywhere I go, I'm there. So I haven't been able to pull it off. So he says these are beliefs so firmly fixed that it's difficult to help you see that all these beliefs about yourself, about you being such a bad person, he said, those beliefs are nothing. He says that it's hard to teach you that none of the negative stuff that you believe about yourself is true. It's hard to get you to see that none of the criticisms and judgments and the beliefs about yourself that make you feel bad about yourself is true. It's hard. It's easier for people to think of themselves as the poisonous snake, as full of so much stuff that's not cool that nobody could really love them. It always amazes me how we think it's easier to think the way we learn to think in the world than it is to think the way the truth is trying to get us to think. How in the world could a life that you're struggling in be harder than a life that you'd have ease in, but we act like that's the harder choice? That's how crazy we are. You know, we think the hard way is the way that's the easy way. And then we hear the easy way, which is what this is telling us, and we think, that's so hard to do. So you're supposed to say, light and joy and peace abide in me. What? I know I think all those things about myself, but even though I don't believe it, I should say light and joy and peace abide in me, even if I don't believe it. Even if I believe that people knew the truth about me, they would be repelling from me as if from a poisonous snake, because I got all this guilt inside of me. Even though I think I'm not as loving as I'd like to be, I'm still supposed to say light and joy and peace abide in me. So remember this, you don't need to believe these ideas, you don't need to accept these ideas. You don't need to welcome these ideas. You may actively resist some of these ideas. I'm going to say some stuff today that's hard to believe, so it makes it easier for me to say it if I've already warned you. Also, I'm going to say some things that might startle you, even though you think you're the most open-minded person that's ever lived. And the only way you're going to see, you're not being asked to judge. You're not being asked to judge. And you're not coming here to judge me. You're not coming here to judge the ideas. You're coming here because you like to get a release from pain and suffering, and you want to have peace, and you want to have joy. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank God that God helping us isn't based on enthusiasm. We'd be screwed, man. I ain't gonna give it to you unless you're enthusiastic about it. Oh, hell, I got another lifetime or two. I can get enthusiastic about a Broncos game, though. Well, that's hardly going to take you to total peace and joy, but at least you're getting an idea of what it might feel like because you're getting enthusiastic about something. So good, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for all the Bronco fans because people coming together for the same purpose joyfully. So that's a healing. That's a healing. That's a healing. No matter why we come together, we can come together peacefully and joyfully, happy about something that everybody's sharing. We healing. You know, no matter how meaningless it is. Oh my God. So the Course in Miracles says when a part of you recognizes the truth, the other part of you that believes this feels threatened. And since it feels threatened, it tries to create something and some kind of drama in your life to get you to focus back in on this again. This world of pain and suffering and everything. So I know I've had some things that jarred and shook my whole perception of reality and showed me at a new level that what the Course in Miracles was saying is true. And so there's that other part of me that goes, oh my God, I got to make him think he's a body and separate again. I got to make him think he doesn't deserve what wonderful things happen to him. So I got to do something to draw him back into his old mind, his old self, his old way of doing things. I know, so I got to come up with 5 things that I got to make him want in order to stay asleep from his true spiritual identity. I've got to make him want personal power. I've got to make him seek money as a goal. And I've got to make him want specialness in some way really bad. I got to try to focus in on the special relationships and the specialness to make him go back to sleep again because he realized God is real and the truth is true and he's more than what he's been taught he is. And the main thing I need to give him, my main way to distract him and make him think he's a body and separate again is physical pleasure. Would you rub my neck, please? Ooh, I must be this body. I gotta be this body because I can feel this pleasure. Ooh, I gotta be this body. I gotta be this body. Ooh, because I can feel this pleasure. Ooh. So the Course in Miracles says those are the 5 things we use to forget our spiritual identity and make us think we're bodies that's gonna die one day. If you want to know why you think your body might die one day, he says, because your mind is always seeking power, fame, money, and physical pleasure. And when your mind seeks after power, fame, money, and physical pleasure, then your mind associates itself with the body. And so you start to think you're this body. But once you think you're something that you're not, he says, then you're doomed to be discontented all the time because it's like a chicken thinking it needs to eat a steak. Unless it eats a steak, it's not going to be happy. That's us thinking we're going to satisfy ourselves, thinking that we're just human bodies and human beings that are separate from each other. He says, that's not what's going to really satisfy you. That's why you're not satisfied. So right now, I know that I don't have to be afraid of my desire for power, money, fame, and physical pleasure because, of course, the Miracles taught me that my invisible teacher, my right mind, the Holy Spirit, is going to use anything that I come up with to bring me love and to wake me up. I say it again. Even if I do want power, fame, money, and physical pleasure, the higher power is going to use all of that desire to somehow still wake me up. It's going to use whatever you come up with to wake you up. As long as you don't use whatever it gives you to stay asleep. See, if every time you get in a relationship, you're no longer on your spiritual path and you're no longer trying to evolve yourself because you're so caught up in the specialness that you're getting from that other person, then you've just used your special relationship to delay yourself and to keep you lingering in ignorance and fear. And so the Course says, I'm not going to keep giving you something that you're going to use to hurt yourself further. And I said, okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. So I'll give you all those things you think you want, provided you use them for love. You use them for waking up. You use them for something that's cool, other than your own personal ego aggrandizement. So you can take, all you need is one line of the Course in Miracles that you use consistently, and it will change your life and solve your problems. I'll say it again. All you need is one line from A Course in Miracles that you consistently use to change your life and change your mind. One sentence. Out of everything you're going to hear me say today, all you need is one sentence that you'll actually apply consistently, no matter how you feel, no matter how you feel, no matter whether you feel happy, no matter whether you feel sad, no matter whether you feel like doing it, and no matter whether you feel like you don't want to do it. Just say these things to yourself that I'm telling you right now, and you will start to have miracles of healing that will happen in your life. And I didn't just say anything to interview that you can't do right now. There was nothing I just said. I just said, say one of the sentences from this book, no matter how you feel. Every one of you can do that right now. But I feel depressed. Can you still say one sentence? Yeah, I can say it even though I'm depressed. That's all I'm asking you to do. I'm just asking you to say what I'm telling you to say, no matter how you feel. These first lessons in the Course in Miracles last 2 minutes. I heard people tell me they're too busy. They don't have time. You try to tell me you don't have 2 minutes out of a 24-hour day. You ought to be the most successful person on earth if you're that busy. Right? So when Spirit talks to me through the Course in Miracles and the veil is lifted more and more, I see the utter simplicity of what I'm being told, that it's so simple what I'm being told that I say I don't understand, that it gives me some idea of just how insane I am. Because I can't understand very simple concepts. Let me give you another example, because Spirit has directed me through this, so I never let my subject matter get in the way of what I have to say. He said the Holy Spirit's lesson, your lessons are going to be arranged in easy steps. But I'm going to give you your lessons in love in easy steps that though there be some lack of ease at times, I'm going to help you. I'm going to tell you the easy steps, but I'm also going to be straight up with you. You're going to have a lack of ease sometimes when I give you these steps. Then Spirit says, you're going to have some distress. So if you think you're going to be on the spiritual path and don't have some distress, you're making a big mistake, okay? You're not going to be on the spiritual path and feel peaceful and joy and happy all the time. Because if you were already feeling that way, you wouldn't need the spiritual path. When you hear it, you just go, oh my God. We be looking for the little yellow bus after we leave the class. They're out there waiting for us. But we cute, and that's what saves us. That's why everybody pays so much attention to how they look, because they know if a person knew how crazy they was, they would never get their phone number. Don't pay no attention, I'm insane, but look at my butt. And I have to admit, I've been deceived. I did lose sight of the man. Oh my God. I'm sweating. All my chakras on fire. All my spiritual, all my spiritual centers. My root chakra was twerking. Yours too. I can tell. Then the Course says there are going to be 3 things that happen when God starts to help you. The 3 things that's going to happen is you're going to have some lack of ease at times. Next thing that's going to happen is sometimes you're going to go through distress on the way to happiness. And not only that, he says, I love this, I'm not going to shatter what you've learned. I'm not just going to take what you've learned and shatter it like a plate. Because that'd be too much for us. You take everything we learn, he says, I'm going to give you some steps that's going to take you to love, and sometimes you're not going to feel at ease, sometimes you're going to feel distress, but there won't be a shattering of what you've learned. We're being told what's going to happen to us, which is what I worry about, which is whenever I have fear, it's always around what might happen to me in the future. So I like that the Course in Miracles, if I listen, it's telling me what's going to happen if I continue on this path. Then it says, what's going to happen is a retranslation of, it's going to be a retranslation of everything that you have learned. I'm going to give you a new translation of everything. In other words, when you see a person acting a fool and going off and cussing you out, I want you to call that a call for love. See, I'm going to retranslate. Whenever you are sick, I want you to say, not say that I'm feeling sick today. Say, I'm feeling a defense against the truth today. What? I'm feeling a defense against the truth today, and it's taking the form of my neck hurting. That's what I'm going to retranslate it. I'm going to give you another way of interpreting everything that's happening to you. I'm going to give you another way of interpreting everything that's happening to you. I'm going to give you another way of interpreting everything you believe. I'm going to give you another way of interpreting everything you believe. I'm going to give you another way of looking at everything you think and everything you believe. I'm going to give you a brand new way of looking at everything you think and everything you believe. And even though there may be, you might be ill at ease at times. And even though you might go through distress at times, I'm not going to just shatter everything that you believe, because that would freak you out. So I'm going to just retranslate everything that you believe. And we're being told by higher power exactly what's going to happen to us. Then it says, I love it, let us consider. I like that. So let us consider. Yeah, he said, consider what? Well, what is the proof there is that you are what another person made of you? You act like what you're going through is being caused by somebody else. So let's consider the proof of that. You think you're going through something because of what your mama did, your daddy did from the past, your boyfriend, exes? Okay, let's consider what proof you have that what you're going through and what you feel is somehow their fault. They were the one that caused it. Because that's what most people act like. They just mad at somebody because they done what they think you did to me, right? Then the Course in Miracles says, and even though you don't see that that's what you think, that you are what somebody else has made of you, even though I know you don't think that, to some level you might say, I don't really believe I'm what everybody else is making of me. He says, surely you've learned by now that you behave like you what everything and everybody else of your past made of you. You behave like you what your mama made of you and your daddy made of you and your mates and your partners and your friends and your race and your gender. You said you act like, I act like everything that I'm going through as a black man was caused by you. But what proof is there that the way I see myself is being caused by you? What proof is there that the way you see yourself is being caused by somebody else? What is the proof that you're the result of what everybody else has done to you? This book is deep. It's just straight up. It just goes, let me just talk to you. And you're going to try to go to sleep. He says, you're going to try to go. He said, either you're going to forget what I'm saying to you, or you're going to go to sleep, or you're going to try to kill yourself. You're going to try to rush to death by your own hand. Say you're doing that right now. You just slowed it way down. You call it a lifetime. But you're still just rushing to death. Well, not actually rushing, moseying. You are moseying to death. By way of staying in Colorado for a while, being born in Memphis, going to Manassas High School, thinking I got 2 kids, coming to this church. See, those are things I'm doing while I'm moseying on to death by my own hand. Can y'all feel me? Yeah, can you feel me? Yeah. And the Course says, the only thing we're concerned about is when we're going to die. We should be asking ourselves, well, why do we die? Why do we even have that idea that we die? That's a whole nother class. So here's the proof. Here's the proof. You should have learned by now that you behave as though you're what somebody else made out of you. Now, ask yourself this question. Is the other person reacting for you? Does the other person know exactly what's going to happen to you in the rest of your life? You say I'm the one that's responsible for what you're going through, right? So am I reacting for you? And also, do I know what's going to happen to you? If I got that kind of power over you, then I'll be able to know what's going to happen to you because I'm making you what you are. He says, also, can I see your future? You say I'm the cause of your unhappiness. Can I see your future? Also, can I ordain what you should do in every circumstance? Can I see your future? And can I tell you what you should do in every circumstance? And are you reacting to me? And do I know exactly what would happen to you? You're acting like I got all this power. So somebody that got that kind of power must have made the world and made you. You acting like if you all are what I made you to be, and the way you feel is based on me, you telling me I have power over you. I make you. You are what I've made you. He says that's what you're saying to everybody around you. Especially when you blame somebody else for what you're going through. He says, well, you're seeing they made you. And then he goes, they must have made the world and they must have made you to have such prescience of things to come. Woo! So what is it that we're supposed to consider? What is it we're supposed to consider? Okay, Earl, what are you supposed to consider? Okay, I'm going to consider what you made of me, because I think you're the one that's making me feel the way I feel. So I behave like I do, because every time I get upset because I think you made me mad, that's me saying you have control over my feelings, and you make me feel what I feel. Every time I get angry at somebody, I'm saying, you make me feel what I feel. You're the one that's controlling my feelings right now. So are you going to react from me? Do you know what's going to happen to me? Do I know what's going to happen in your future? Do I know what you should do in every circumstance? Because if I do, then I made you and I made the world. So then he goes, well, let's look at it from another direction. Then he goes, okay, that you are what your brother made of you seems most unlikely. Okay, do you know it's highly unlikely that you are what your mother made you and your father made you and your boyfriend, and your girlfriends, and your teachers and your ministers? He says it's hardly likely that you are anything that they made you. He says even if they did make you, I love this line. So even if your parents in the past and everything did make you all screwed up the way you are, he says, who gave you the face of innocence? Who gave you the face that's so innocent that everything's being done to you? Where did that face come from? Is that your contribution? Right. Everybody's doing everything to me, but I am so innocent and so nice and so kind, I wouldn't hurt a flea. See, he says, who made up your nice face? Everybody else made up your not so nice face, Earl. So who made up your nice face? Who's making up the nice you? You know, the you that wouldn't kill anybody unless they did something you didn't like. That one. The one with the mace, the affirmation, and the 45. I love everybody. It's so funny. The Course in Miracles says the world's going to end in laughter. And I just wonder what that meant. He said, yeah, the world is something that you have so much fear in, broken into by periods in which you think you're having a good time.
Yeah.
That when he says the end of the world, he's talking about the end of your sadness, the end of your fear, because all those things are associated to what can happen to us in the world. So the end of the world is not the physical destruction of the world. The end of the world is the end of your unhappiness. I love where this book puts stuff. That's deep, ain't it? Yeah. Then he goes on to say, and who is deceived by your goodness? You know, say, you're really a good person, but I don't see it. I'm deceived by your goodness. I don't see your goodness. I'm deceived. Goodness is there, but I'm deceived into thinking it ain't in you. Now, if y'all not trying to be too holy, you know exactly what I'm saying, and you getting off on this. Somebody that's trying to pretend they're nicer than they are. They don't like this because they're denying that they got that kind of side of themselves because they're so spiritual now. I love everybody, except you. Daddy, mama, ex, boy, you know what I'm saying? I love everybody. I can forgive everybody, but the people I need to. I can forgive a stranger. They haven't done nothing to me. That's no big deal to say I love the world. Yeah, but can you love your relatives? I heard a lot of grunts in this room. It was like they were all in harmony. We got a grunt choir. You know what I'm saying? The chorus grunt choir. I said something from the chorus and y'all go. I'm the lead grunt. The solo grunt. You know, y'all be in the background and I come out front and say something from the chorus like. Did a little James Brown in there. That wasn't James Brown. That was the worst imitation of James Brown to come rise from the grave to kick my butt for that. Okay. The Course says we don't laugh enough, and that's what makes the whole thing hard. He says that's how we got into the world in the first place. We forgot to laugh. He says, what? He says, how did y'all get into the world? People wonder, well, how did we get into this world of separation and fear and all this? He says, you don't have a sense of humor. Yeah. So the course, because many people on the spiritual path, they act like they got like 10 bricks in their pants. You know what I'm saying? It's like, join me in joy. So, okay. There are two parts to who you think you are. There are two parts to who you think you are. There are two parts to who you think you are. There are two parts to who you think you are. Everybody that you know has two parts. Everyone that you know has two parts. Everyone that you know has two parts. Everyone that you know, including you, has how many parts? Two parts. One part is generated by you. One part of how you see yourself is generated by you. That nice you, that nice face, you made that one. So who made all the other ways that you see yourself? And then why are you hiding your goodness? If you're so kind and loving, the Course says, well then even if the rest of the world is crazy and evil and not caring, what's making you not be that way? Even if nobody else is nice, why should that stop you from being nice? Right? I love how he says that if the world be evil, there is still no need to hide what you're made of. Even no matter what anybody else is like, you think you're so loving and you think you're so nice, then why are you hiding your niceness? Why are you hiding your loving self? He just asks us stuff like that. He says, and if you're being attacked, you must be something that needs to be defended. Wow. See, if I think everybody's trying to hurt me, then I'm going to be defensive and I'm going to be expecting an attack. But if what I expect and believe creates my reality, then I'm asking for attack, even if I think I'm afraid of attack and I wouldn't hurt anybody. If I'm afraid of being hurt, I still have thoughts of vulnerability and attack. If I think everybody could hurt me, then I'm still full of thoughts of attack. And thoughts of attack create attack. So the person who says, I've never heard a flea, but I'm scared of everything in the world happening to me, they are just as much believing in attack as a person that actually perpetuates an attack. Because we got to get rid of all thoughts of attack. Okay, so it needs to be retranslated. That's what he says. Spirit is going to retranslate. Okay, what would be a retranslation of thoughts of attack? You would see the thoughts of attack as what? A call for peace. I had a boy, which would be like you was angry at everybody all day at work or wherever you are. All day long you was irritated. Then somebody asked you how your day was. If you now begin to wake up, you would say, man, I had a big call for peace all day today. That's what you would say. You would go, I had a big call for love today. That's what somebody who's hearing the Course would start calling their anger. So you're not denying the anger. You're not repressing it. You're retranslating it. And you got all that energy, right? You got all that energy. And energy behind the thought helps it do what? Manifest. Anger is energy. So if you angrily say, I'm calling for peace, that's much more than, I want peace. Say it, repeat after me, I want the peace of God. I want the peace of God. But you can sure get mad with a lot more enthusiasm than somebody cut you off in traffic, give you the finger. You don't go, oh, just what's the finger? You go, hey! Okay, what were you just doing? I was calling for peace! See what I'm saying? See the difference? All that energy. I was calling for peace! That's got much more energy than your so-called you saying it on your own in peace. Lord have mercy. All it takes is one sentence I've said to you today that you stick with all week long in your life and start to change. It's not about remembering everything I'm saying. Aren't you glad to hear that? I can do that. Forget what you said. I'm the student. That's right. I love students. I ask for students to forget most of the things I've said in my class. It gives me ecstasy. So y'all forget most of what I've said today. I love it, boy. This is so cool. It's so much. Let me see. He said perhaps you got a lot of concepts that you don't really understand is because that you wouldn't think most of the stuff that you do to yourself is even true. Somebody could tell you what you're doing and you say, that's not true. Have you ever done that? They told you something, well, that's not true. The Course says, what would happen to the world you see if the underpinnings were removed? What would happen if the underpinnings were removed? What would happen to the whole way you see things if the underpinning was removed? So you see, your concept of the world, it depends on your concept of yourself. Your concept of the world depends on your concept of yourself. So your concept of yourself determines the world that you're looking at. Your concept of yourself determines the world or the relationships that you have. So your relationships are a reflection of how you feel about yourself. If you don't love yourself, then in your relationship, it won't look like you get no love or no appreciation. If you don't appreciate yourself, you're not going to attract a partner that really appreciates you. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to attract somebody that loves you. Your world depends on the way you are seeing yourself. Most people are a lot of people have concepts of themselves that they're full of fear and they're full of insecurity. And they think that means they're going to attract some person who's full of confidence and enthusiastic. It's like you got it all together. You got the money, you got the looks, you got the spirituality, you got the health and everything. It's like that person that's got everything and really got it together gets down on his knees or her knees at night and say, Lord, would you please send me an insecure, dysfunctional woman? Do you think somebody that's got that act together is praying for somebody like you? If you don't love yourself. That's deep, ain't it? But I used to do it. It's like I didn't have nothing. I was cute. I thought that would get me across, you know what I'm saying? And so I thought even though I was totally messed up and didn't know how to love myself completely, at least I was going to look good enough that somebody was going to want me regardless of all of my issues. And so that's what I was looking for when I looked for a relationship. I wanted somebody that would complete me and make me feel really special and really valuable and more valuable than I thought about myself. They were going to give me the value I didn't have. Now, anybody feel me? Do you see? Don't you see how crazy that was? I don't have nothing to offer, but I want you to want me. And you attract people who want to fix people, because people who want to fix people are trying to get their self-esteem through being a caretaker. So they also are just as messed up as you are. Their self-esteem is still isn't coming from within themselves either. Their self-esteem is coming from how much they think they can rescue and fix everybody else around them. So they're just as insecure too. Both cases, you're doing the same thing. You just flipped it, right? So that's still not going to attract the person that's full of love and confidence and sanity. Because let me tell you, the saner you get, the more you see your insanity. And the more you recognize insanity. The more you wake up, it's easier to tell who's crazy. It is. It's not hard. You know, in a week's time, you know, I head off 5 crazy people last week. I was talking to him and going, oh my Lord. I can't go deeper than this. And no. No, I don't care what you look like. If you crazy, I don't want you. But that's not the way it used to be. Actually, when I was crazy, them being crazy was a requirement. Right. Somebody sane and loving and kind, I wouldn't even be attracted to them. I wouldn't even want to be with them. I just go, you too nice. Right? So you don't have to worry about it. The more loving and the more sane you become, the less people who want a lot of drama and pain will be attracted to you. And you may think you're losing your magnetism. You're not losing your magnetism. You're being saved. Crazy people are not attracted to you the way they used to be. That's good. You know, unless they look like... I know she's crazy. I'll just bring her to the course. You know. I'm going to work on that mind later. He said you'll laugh when you really see how crazy we are in the way we think. He says it right there in the book. You will laugh at how utterly insane the thinking is that we have. And that we believe the insane way of thinking is the sane way of thinking. And then when somebody tells us the same way, like you're the one that's responsible for how you see things, you're the one that's choosing the feelings, and you're deciding what happens. He said, you seem crazy to the crazy people. Mm-hmm. So just shut up. I just came from God on high to give you a very deep, metaphysical, powerful answer. What did you say, Lord? Tell them to shut up. And you fit in the middle word. Shut up. You talking too much. Crazy people, when they hear the truth, they think you crazy. And they'll attack you. So just act like, you're interested in the same insane stuff they are for a little while. Just don't hang out too long. Pass them like two ships sailing in the night. Wave at the crazy folk. And then move on. Same people got bodies too. Yeah, you don't have to give it to the crazy person just because you want to get their body. Same people have bodies, they just don't give it to insane people. So that might leave you out. You be claiming you don't get no loving when you're crazy. Oh boy. He says, if you would doubt either one of your concepts of yourself, the concept that you made of yourself and the concept that you think other people have of you, that if you would doubt either one of them, then they both would leave you alone and go. All your negative concepts of yourself would go if you ever doubted it. So all you have to start doing, all you have to do is doubt that you're not as beautiful as you are. Doubt it when you tell yourself you don't deserve to have love. Or doubt it when you say that you're not smart as you think you should be or kind. He says, doubt your negative thoughts about yourself. If you were to doubt your negative thoughts about yourself and your negative thoughts about anybody else, if you would doubt them, he says, thoughts will go. Like people wondering, like, how do I get rid of my anger? He says, doubt that thought. Doubt that you have to be angry. Doubt that you have to be upset all the time about things. He says, if you just would start doubting your ego, just start doubting your negative thoughts about yourself, then the thoughts you making up about yourself and the thoughts you think other people are making up about you, both of those, he says, will be gone. You don't doubt your own negative thoughts about yourself enough. Right? That's what he's telling us. Then the Jesus of the course, is like I like to call it. And the next line is great. I love it. He says, the Holy Spirit doesn't seek to throw you into panic. Yeah, God said, I'm not trying to throw you into panic. What? You see panic over there? I'm not trying to throw you into panic. I'm not trying to frighten you. I'm not trying to frighten you. Spirit is saying, I'm not trying to frighten you. I'm not trying to throw you into panic. All I'm really doing is I want to know if it's okay for me to ask you a little question. So I'm not trying to make you feel panicked. I just want to know if it's okay if I ask you to raise a little small question. Is it okay if I raise a little small question? He said, well, here you go. Okay. Then now there are alternatives about what you could be, right? You got two alternatives about what you could be. You could really be a cool, loving being, or you could be a crazy, fearful being. There are two alternatives, right? So let's just talk about this for a minute. So that means you might be the thing that you're saying about everybody else, right? It's a possibility that what you're seeing in everybody else is really something that's your quality, right? He says that. He says, you might, for instance, be the thing you chose to have the other person be. I see the other person is selfish, maybe I'm the one that's selfish. Then it says, well, that shifts the concept from the self, from what is totally passive, to at least make way for an active choice. In other words, you're willing to enter and say that I did have something to do with the way that I'm seeing myself. I did have something to do, I'm telling myself I might be what I say you are. I'm telling myself I might be the thing, so that means some kind of interaction happened, right? Then he goes, then there is some understanding that you are choosing for both of you. I'm choosing in terms of how I see myself, but guess what? I'm choosing in terms of how I see you. I'm making up of you as I make up of me. I call it my opinion of you. Do you have opinion of people? That's you making up what you think they are. That's you giving them a concept of what you think they are. It has nothing to do with them, really. I just think you're what I think you are. We all choose for how we think everybody is, don't we? Can we be that straight up with each other and honest? So you are making up how you see me right now. You're making up how you see me right now. You are making up how you see me right now. You're making up how you see me right now. How you see me right now is not the way everybody else in this room is seeing me right now. You're seeing me right now the way you are seeing me right now. So you're making up a concept of me, and you're also making up a concept of you while you're sitting on the chair. Right? Okay, then he goes to say, then you understand that what he represents has a meaning that you've given. What you represent to me, I'm the one that's giving you the meaning that you have for me. Then he says, it also shows some glimmering of sight into the law of perception. So here's the law of perception. What is the law of perception? What is the law of perception? The law of perception, the law of seeing. What is the law that rules seeing? What is the law that rules perception? What you see reflects the state of your mind. What you see reflects your mental state. What you see reflects your mental state. Everything you are seeing on TV, the movies, everything you are seeing in the world is a reflection of your state of mind. That's the law of perceiving. Your relationship that you're in right now, all the relationships you're in right now, and what's happening in all the relationships you have right now, what's happening in all of the relationships that you have right now is a reflection of your mind. It's a reflection of your mind. It's a reflection of your mind. It's a reflection of your mind. Everything you are seeing and saying is outside that you are looking at is a reflection of your state of mind. All you see is your state of mind. All you see is your state of mind. All you see is your state of mind. So everything you're looking at is your state of mind. Everything you're looking at is your mental state. Everything and everybody you're looking at reflects your mental state. That includes the wonderful things that you see, and it includes the things that you don't like. They all are reflecting not anybody else. They're reflecting your state of mind. That's the law of seeing. Everything that you're looking at is coming from your mind. That's the one law of perception. So who was it that chose first? He says, but now ask yourself, who chose first? Because if I'm what you made me be, if I am what I chose to see you, if what I see in you is really in me, then there are alternatives. I could see you another way than how I see you. So who is the you that keeps choosing to see things the way that you see things and letting the other way you could see things go? There's a way you can see yourself that will give you nothing but joy and peace and happiness. But you're choosing to see yourself in such a way that you don't feel, he said, that you don't feel you are experiencing joy and peace and happiness. So who's making those choices? Who is it that made the choice to see you the way you see you? Whose idea was you to see you the way you see in yourself right now? Who chose your personality? Who chose the way you are? Who chose the way you're looking at yourself? Who was the one that chose the way you're looking at yourself? And who is the one that chose the way you're looking at me and the way you're looking at other people? He said, so you must have decided to keep one way of looking at yourself and everybody else, and you let the other way of looking at yourself and everybody else go. So when you feel angry and upset, then you are choosing to let go of the other side of yourself that has peace and love. Every time you get mad and angry, feel guilty, you're saying, I'm going to let go of the side of me that will see me as innocent and blameless and beautiful. And I'm choosing the one that says I'm guilty and not enough. But who chose the two things? Who is it that's choosing it? That's what God says, consider that. But if the bad stuff in you is in me, then I'm really not no better off in the first place. Now, first you were the one that was screwed up. Now I'm screwed up too. First I thought you were the selfish one, but I say if I see what's in you, what's in me, the only thing that's happened is now there's two. That's all that's happened. Nobody's gotten better. Nobody's any more peaceful and enlightened. Now I just multiplied the people who were messed up. Well, at least when I used to see the crappy stuff in you, at least it wasn't in me. So that was just one. Now this metaphysical stuff saying, well, what you see in the other person is in yourself. Now you screwed up and I am too. So now, he said, I love that quote, says, well, that's not, that gain is paid in almost equal loss. Because now you stand accused of guilt for what the other person is because you're saying it's in you too. In other words, you all are sharing guilt now. You are that way and I am too. We're sharing it. Then he goes, but the truth is, you chose it for that other person in the image of your own guilt. I chose it for you because I also was in me. He said it again. He says, now that means while only the other person was treacherous before, he said, now you are also condemned too. You were treacherous, had all these qualities that I see in you. Now I see them in me. So the Course in Miracles is saying the key thing is get away from concepts altogether. Get rid of these concepts that you learned from the world and the concepts that you made up. It's time for you to get rid of the erroneous concepts that you learned from the world and the concepts you made up. It's time for you to get rid of the concepts you're making up about yourself and the concepts you're making up of everybody else if your life is full of drama and fear and lack and pain and attacking you miserable and you're unhappiness. And you're unhappy. Your butt needs to hope you wrong about every doggone thing you believe about everything. It's crazy to be a miserable person thinking you right. It's the craziest thing I ever seen is people who are miserable always thinking they got the correct opinion of things. There's no way your perception is correct and you don't have no love in it. And everything you're seeing is a reflection of your own mental state. And there's a you that's choosing everything that's happening to you. You need to get in touch with the chooser. And the Course in Miracles is trying to teach you how to get in touch with the chooser so that you can start choosing the you that will always side with your beauty, with your innocence, and with you deserving abundance and health and happiness and right relationships. You're the only one that won't make that choice, and nothing's going to happen until I choose. Oh, and I'm going to stop right here now because I just said too much of what I needed to hear, and I refuse to tell myself anything else. So there. I've had about as much love as I can stand. So I asked the universe just to give me a little bit of love. And then the universe said, that's what I've been giving you. So that's what you've been asking for all your life. Just give me a little bit. Not too much. I'm not greedy. Just give me a little bit of love. Give me a little bit of prosperity. I'm not trying to be gluttonous. I don't need all of it there is. And so if you've been asking for a little bit, and all you've been receiving in your perception is a little bit, you've been receiving what you've asked for. Gimme, 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 gimme. And if you like to gimme, 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 if you appreciate something I said today, and you got a sense of humor, then go to my website, www.earlpurdy.com. It's Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y. You can use Venmo and Zelle and PayPal. What's the other one? Cash App. All you need is my email address. And my email address is earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. I'm working with people all the time, one-on-one as a coach and a counselor, to show them how to make this real so that they can have the prosperity and the happiness and the peace that they want. So if you like to have a clarity session, a one-on-one session with me, there's nothing that you can bring to me that I can't share with you exactly how the Course in Miracles is saying you should handle that. There's nothing you can come up with that the Course in Miracles doesn't have a solution for. There's nothing you can be going through that the Course in Miracles doesn't have a solution for. So after 40 years of doing the Course, I know exactly what areas of the book that pertain to the thing you think you're going through. And we can go through that together with your particular issue so that you can get a healing in that area. It's called a clarity session. I'm also an astrologer and a numerologist. If you're interested in that, then you can also contact me through my website. On my website, it explains exactly what the clarity session is, and you can book an appointment with me. But don't book a session with me unless you really want a solution. I'll say it again. Don't book a session with me if you want to be right more than you want to be happy. Okay? Because you're going to get mad at me. And I'm not doing this for anger. Because if a person's not ready to let go of their problem yet because they're getting the payoff, they get defensive when you tell them the answer and the way out. Because they don't really want a way out. They just want to pretend they do. Because it seems crazy to be going through pain and not do something about it. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I can pretend I really want a solution. At least I won't seem so crazy.
Mm-hmm. For a little while.
Yeah. But the Course in Miracles says everybody's got a limit to pain. Everyone has a limit to pain. Everyone has a limit to pain. There's a pain limit. There's a pain limit. And it says as soon as a person reaches their pain limit, there's something that they're going to say. And he says what they're going to say is, there must be a better way. That's what a person says sincerely when they're really ready to get off it. They go, and not only do they go, there must be a better way, then they seek for it. And then when they find it, they start doing it. That's how you can tell whether you're just kidding around or whether you're really sincere about your spiritual path. How much attention and study do you give to your path? How much attention and study? I'm not talking about just swimming around in your head all day because you read it one day. So you think you're now enlightened because you can like sift through the sentences you heard. But how much attention and study do you give to your spiritual path every day? How can you tell if you're really giving attention and study to your spiritual path? Your life, according to the Course in Miracles, becomes easier. Obstacles are removed before you even get to them. And if that's not what you're experiencing in your perception, then you're not really on your path yet. Things don't get harder when you see God, truth, in your higher self. Things get easier. But what were we told earlier? That there will be some lack of ease at times. There may be a little distress. We're not going to shatter everything and freak you out. Right? So Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, I do on Facebook Live on the Earl Purdy page, which is what you're watching right now. And also we got cool people in the room, so you can come down if you'd like to and be here in person, 1555 Race Street here in Denver, Colorado. Thursday nights, online only. I do hardcore Course in Miracles, and that class is for sincere Course in Miracles students who are actually really getting into the material. So I just want to warn that's because I had to do one class after 40 years that I'm geared toward just straight up doing the course without feeling like I'm spending all my time trying to convince the person they should want it. Right. I'm actually teaching the people who want it. Mm-hmm. So if you know you want it, then that's the class for you. If you're still in the judgmental, I don't know and I don't buy this and I don't then so that means you're not studying it, so that means it might not have as much meaning because I'll be saying stuff that's totally unfamiliar, but you're also welcome to watch. Because you still might hear something that could be very helpful. Take a breath, y'all. And take a minute to close this out. I know I forgot something, but I'll remember it later. I can just, you can just feel it. I know I forgot something. I can just feel it. I forgot God. I guess I could forget this. Did you forget God? Yeah. Does it seem like this whole thing of a higher power and the creator sometimes seems like an idea and a concept you're trying to believe in or that you want to believe in? Sometimes, and the Course says you're right. It freaked me out. He said, you're right. God is an idea. He said everything real is an idea. It says you are an idea. You are a thought. Wow, that's deep. I need to remember I'm an idea because an idea probably wouldn't have to pay no rent. And definitely I'm going to cut down on the food bill. So I'm telling you, it's practical to want to be awake and spiritual. It really is. It's practical value. So, mighty companions, you all are blessings in my life. I'm going to get a chance to listen to this again and realize and ask yourself again, who is the chooser? Who's the chooser? And are you really what everybody else has made out of you? And if so, they rule you and they control you. And if you do have and what's the law of perception? What you see reflects the state of the perceiver's mind. So I'm going to say that for a minute as our closing. What you're looking at, what you're looking at, what you're looking at in your life right now, what you're looking at in your life right now, what you are experiencing in your life right now, what you are experiencing in your life right now, would you consider to be good stuff or would you consider to be bad stuff? The law of perception is that what you're looking at, what you see, reflects the state of your mind. So we could just say it really short and go, your life experience is a reflection of your mental state. What you are experiencing financially is a result of your mental state. What you are experiencing financially is the result of your mental state. What you are experiencing in your relationships right now, what you are experiencing in your relationship right now, what you're experiencing in your relationships right now is a reflection of your mental state. It's a reflection of your mind. It's a reflection of your mind. What you see reflects the state of your mind. What you're looking at is towards what you consider to be your spiritual awareness and your spiritual growth. What you're looking at is reflecting your spiritual mental state. What you see is reflecting your mental state. Spiritually, what you see is reflecting your mental state. What you see is happening in your career, in your public life, in your life purpose. It's a reflection of your state of mind. Where you work is a reflection of your state of mind. What you do every day is a reflection of your state of mind. The friendships that you have, they're a reflection of your state of mind. All the wonderful things that happen to you, they are a reflection of your state of mind. All of the good things that comes to you in your life, they are a reflection of your state of mind. What you see is a reflection of your state of mind. So what are you going to choose? What are you going to choose? Who are you going to choose? So mighty companions, may the course be with you. Love y'all. They give it up to you. Give it up to you. Remember, what you're looking at today and perceiving today, what is it a reflection of? My state of mind. Does that make you feel good? Or does that make you feel like you got a lot of work to do? Honestly, both. Yeah. I love y'all. Hugs are available. Thank you, mighty companions online. And please share that video. I'm on YouTube also.